Okay, so in this video tutorial, I'll be going over how to graph a scatter plot on your graphing calculator. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to put some data onto our list, right, to graph them. So for this tutorial, I made this table here, and I actually got some idea off of the internet, and it talks about the year of education corresponding to the income they make. So it might not be accurate, but it should be a good example we can practice off of. So let's plot these stuff into our list here. And in order to do that, we have to go to stat list, right? So we hit stat and edit to go to our list, and let's type in our data. So the 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18. Okay, so I typed in the years into my L1, the list number 1. But what I'm going to do is that for the income tab here, I'm going to put those in my L2 section. So how do I move to L2? You just right click it or hit the right arrow on your calculator. So once you do that, you'll be moved down to the second row here, or second column here, and just type in the data. So 18, 19, 24, 25.5, 28, 33, and 40. And make sure that both sides have exactly same amount of numbers. Because if you have like one more number on the either side, you will get a error. So make sure you get exact same amount of numbers on each row. Okay, so once you plot all these stuff in, how do we graph them? It's so first thing we have to do is that we have to quit out of the screen here, okay? So we hit second mode to quit out to our normal screen, and you have to watch carefully. So what we have to do next is that we have to go to our stat plot setting. Okay? Stat plot setting is located right above your y equals key on your calculator. So right here. And on if you look above, you'll see that in blue color it says stat plot, right? So we have to access that. How do we do that? So we have to hit the blue button, the second, and hit y equals. And once you do that, you'll be brought into this screen here that says stat plots, right? So most of you will have all three of them as off. That means none of your plots are on right now. So what we gotta do is we gotta select the number 1 and then hit enter. And once you hit enter, you'll be brought into this extra screen here. And notice there's on and off here, right? And then on it has a blinking cursor. That's yours. So what you got to do is in order to turn this on, you have to hit enter. Then now the the box will color on the on position. So after that, just hit down arrow, and once you hit down arrow, you will see this variety of graphs. And scatter plot is the first one because that's what the scatter plot should look like. So what you're gonna do is color that one and hit enter. And after that, move down by pressing down arrow, and it will ask you for X list and Y list. So for this tutorial, I've typed in my datas for my years in my L1 position, right? And my incomes into L2 position. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna clear it and type L1 again, just for the demo purpose. So how do we type in L1 or any kind of number? We just hit second and then type in the number that you want to put. So since I want to put L1 down, I have to press number 1. If you guys are not sure how to do these, please check out my previous video. I explained this stuff there. It will help you out. So anyway, after that, just move down and then choose your Y list. But I know that my Y is L2, so I'm not going to change it. So just move down one more, and it will say mark, right? These marks are just visual purpose. I recommend you using this box here, or the square box, because that's the easiest one to see. Um, those of you, and the next one is color. Some of you might not have that, and some of you will have that. Mine have that because this is the color edition, but it doesn't really matter. So once you finish and hit enter, you have to quit out of the screen here. Okay? So what you're going to do is hit second mode to quit out. After you quit out, you have to do special stuff here. So what you got to do is you have to go to zoom. Oh, actually, before we do that, sorry. Before we do that, let's go into our y equals and see if we have other graph. Okay, luckily I don't have any graph here. But if you have some kind of graphs in your y equals, please erase them first, because or else you're gonna see like multiple graphs with your scatter plot. So just erase all the graphs and then follow this step. So once you erase all the stuff here, um, you have to press this button zoom. So from your normal screen, press your zoom, and once you press zoom, you'll be brought into screen. And if you go down to number 9, notice it says what? Zoom stat, right? Zoom stat is what we want to choose. So choose that and then hit enter. Then there you go. There's your scatter plot of this data here. So the first box indicates year 8 and 18,000 up, and the second one is 10, 19, and so on. So yeah, that's how you graph scatter plot on your graphing calculator. And if you guys have any other questions, please leave questions on the comment below. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.